Women journalists face threats and resistance, yet they fight for truth, expose injustice, and push for lasting solutions. On a very exciting note today, we have the best of women journalists with us, talking about journalism, politics, press freedom, and much more. Welcome. How have you been today?
Oh, pretty good. I woke up really early and then you picked me up. Same here. I mean, I woke up 4:30 in the morning. My mom woke me up and उसके बाद से I'm all up.
मेरा थोड़ा अलग था। मैं आज थोड़ा और लेट उठी क्योंकि संडे था, बेटी का स्कूल नहीं था, तो 9 बजे आराम से उठी क्योंकि था कि संडे है, आराम से चलेंगे। तो बाकी सब तो बस यहाँ की तैयारी और यहाँ पर हैं।
I think you know.
Yeah.
I was 25 minutes late, but at least I had my coffee and I'm all buzzing for this.
Okay, so we're all women in journalism here, and I want to know what's it like for you to be a woman journalist in India today?
I think I have had very limited exposure in India when, especially working as a female journalist, but whatever it has been, it's been slightly very difficult and challenging at times, because first thing first, whether regardless you're a working journalist or not, as a female, there's always at the back of your head, there's always that worry, am I going to be safe wherever I go to report? I mean, as journalists, we always want to cover stories that takes us to, sometimes to dangerous locations, and not always it's going to be the case that you have God or somebody looking after you, especially if you're going alone.
आकृति, एक छोटा सा न्यूज़ रूम है मेरा, एक छोटी सी टीम है, तो इस तरह की ट्रेनिंग तो अभी तक मैंने नहीं दी है, लेकिन हाँ, जब फीमेल जर्नलिस्ट मेरी टीम में होती हैं तो कोशिश करती हूँ कि वो लोग सेफ़ रहें, क्योंकि जो उनकी सेफ्टी है वो मेरी जिम्मेदारी है। तो डिपेंड करता है स्टोरी वाइज कि जैसे मैं लास्ट टाइम मेरी टीम में दिल्ली की ही बात है, दिल्ली में जो लड़की हमारे साथ थी, उस समय वो जंतर मंतर पे प्रोटेस्ट हो रहा था, जो रेसलर प्रोटेस्ट कर रहे थे उस समय, और उस समय बहुत भीड़ थी उस वक्त, और मैं कहीं से आई थी, दिल्ली के बाहर से मैं आई थी, और वो पूरी रात वहाँ पर थी। वो चीज़ मुझे पता नहीं थी, एक्चुअली मुझे बाद में पता चली, और फिर पता मैंने उसको डांटा भी इस चीज़ को लेके, क्योंकि तुम मेरी रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी हो, एटलीस्ट मुझे पता होना चाहिए कि तुम वहाँ रात में मेरे लिए काम कर रही हो, मेरे प्लेटफॉर्म के लिए काम कर रही हो। तो अगर कुछ गलती से हो जाता तो वो मेरे ऊपर आता, लेकिन फिर मैं अर्ली मॉर्निंग ही वहाँ उसके पास पहुँची, सब कुछ बात की, सब कुछ ठीक था। हालांकि फिर वहाँ पे क्योंकि बहुत सारे अब जानने वाले लोग भी हैं, तो मैंने देखा कि कौन एक मेल दोस्त है जो उसके साथ हो सकता है, एक जर्नलिस्ट है जो एक वही जैसे बताया उन्होंने कि आपको एक सेफ्टी सबसे बड़ा मेजर इशू है यहाँ पर, तो आप सेफ़ रहेंगे तो आप कुछ भी कर सकते हो। मैंने उसको वही कहा कि तुम सेफ़ हो तो और भी स्टोरीज़ हो सकती हैं, पर तुम्हारी सेफ्टी ज़्यादा ज़रूरी है, क्योंकि उस समय जो सिक्योरिटी थी, जो पुलिस थी वहाँ पर, वो किसी को आने नहीं दे रही थी। अगर वो वहाँ अंदर है तो वो बाहर जाने नहीं दे रही थी, और बहुत धक्का-वक्का हो रहा था। तो वो सब देखना पड़ता है, लेकिन हाँ, वो ट्रेनिंग तो अभी हम लोग नहीं प्रोवाइड कर सकते, लेकिन हाँ, वो जितना हम लोग समझते हैं, क्योंकि फील्ड में मैं भी रही हूँ और भी लोग रहे हैं, तो जितना हम जानते हैं एज अ फीमेल जर्नलिस्ट भी हम लोग जानते हैं कि क्योंकि इंडिया में एक फ़ीमेल होना ही अपने अंदर एक चैलेंज है, तो वो सब चीज़ देखते हुए हम लोग वैसे ही वर्बली बताते हैं। लेकिन वो
मैं आप दोनों से जानना चाहूँगी कि क्या कभी आपका ऐसा इंसिडेंट हुआ है where you've chosen to not do a story only for your safety?
So I'm not a trained journalist per se. I'm just a content writer, and I have been fortunate enough, you could say, I've been into editing news about different kinds of subjects, from Palestine to cryptocurrency to business. So I do not have one forte. अभी तक फिलहाल ऐसा कभी कोई इंसिडेंट, आई हैव बीन वेरी फॉर्चुनेट इन फैक्ट। आई मीन, आप लोगों का मैं अगर मैं सुनती हूँ ना, तो मेरे ख्याल में आप लोगों में से सबसे कम एक्सपीरियंस फील्ड का मेरे पास है, बिकॉज आई एम नॉट अ ट्रेन जर्नलिस्ट। बट दैट सेड, मुझे पता है कि इट कैन बी चैलेंजिंग, especially if you are putting yourself out there, exposing yourself as a female, and it doesn't matter कि आपका background क्या है, ठीक है, आप you could be from an elite background, you could be from any background. जब तक आप एक जर्नलिज्म कर रहे हो, आप कोई भी स्टोरी कर रहे हो, लाइक फॉर एग्जांपल वी हैव राना अयूब का काफ़ी बड़ा एग्जांपल, राइट? शी हैड टू लीव द कंट्री एंड आई एम क्वाइट श्योर ऐसे बहुत सारे जर्नलिस्ट हैं, फीमेल जर्नलिस्ट, जिनको सेफ फील नहीं होता बट दे आर स्टिल डूइंग इट एंड हैट्स ऑफ टू देम. इसी वजह से आई मीन मैं तो आप लोगों के लिए सीरियसली, मतलब आप लोग मेरे लिए मिसाल हो. You guys are inspiration, especially what Meena is doing with what you are doing as a person. तुम इतना माशाल्लाह कर रही हो, you know, अपने आगे एक मतलब हम लोग जब मिले थे CME में, right? उसके बाद से जो हम लोग का एक अच्छा सा बॉन्ड बन गया है. I'm seriously like I'm so proud of you and Kasturi as well and you of course. तो मतलब मेरे लिए आप लोग मिसाल हैं. Like you guys are seriously brave, braver than men out there. Honestly, it's not easy being a female here. India में तो नहीं है.
I just think it takes a lot for us to be on the same level as a man. So if they say that we are at the same level, sometimes I have to disagree, because I'm like, the strength that it takes us, we come from, like, let's say 20. So you are already at 100 and it takes us 80 to be there. So we have a lot of strength there.
Men have some privileges. I mean, I'm not saying that men are safe. They are not.
Yeah,
of course not. लेकिन men do have
Some privileges.
some
but not
privilege
to be
over
there.
females. ठीक है. At the end of the day, आप तब भी sensitive हो, आप तब भी एक weaker gender माने जाते हो, because you are कहीं ना कहीं you know, I wouldn't say weak but privileged.
No, I completely agree with that because obviously we had Delhi riots, we had, the issue in Kashmir and everything, the insurgency times and stuff. And at the forefront were a lot of male journalists. And as a female journalist, it's always very. I mean, if I was someone who was covering these riots or, these kind of incidents, I would think 10 times whether I should sign up for this opportunity or not. Like, am I going to be safe? Am I going to make it home back? So that's always like on top of my head, at the back of my head, mind.
I mean, Akriti, I'll just say this here on the record. It's my dream, and to visit every state and union territory of India and report stories from there. So I've worked as an independent journalist for the last 6 years, and I've worked across national and international platforms. Now, when I'm mainly working with international media and I'm out there on the field, my editors and colleagues are in a different country. There's nobody here to check on me when I'm in real time on the field. So yes, there have been incidents where I was worried about my safety, where my family was worried about my safety, and I had to, just make certain decisions at that time that okay, we need to get the hell out of here because it's no longer safe. So what you asked earlier about whether or not if I've let go of the story because I think it's not too safe for me, I want to answer that question by also looking at the press freedom climate here in India. We're at this moment here in the industry that is facing a lot of issues financially, yes, but also where journalists are facing a lot of retaliation just for doing their jobs, just for covering stories that are critical of certain people in power. And what happens is that in that situation you have to put yourself as a woman, traveling alone in India, different parts, and where you are vulnerable because of who you are on the field. But I also want to say that I found a lot of support and solidarity in my network of women in media, right? Just making alliances as I go with other women journalists, with you, with Meena ji, or other people I've met on the way, or people who have reported from there, just saying that how safe it is. And I just want to say that yes, it is exhausting to constantly think about your safety, and like everybody here said, that if I'm going to make it back home alive, when I just want to do a story, when I just want to travel somewhere and I want to report, it's very exhausting also to think that.
I think it's not only limited to, doing those, hardcore stories. It could be, you could be doing some really fluff or soft piece. And even then you're like, oh my God, am I am I going to be okay?
Some of us here are from the marginalized community, and I think unfortunately it plays a very big role, not only professionally but also personally for us. And of course, Meena ji, it's been your entire life, so why don't you tell us a little bit about, I mean, why and how did you have to suffer and how did you come along to succeed?
जैसे अभी सेफ्टी की भी बात हो रही थी तो मुझे एक याद आया कि जिस तरह का मेरा काम है तो उस काम की वजह से बहुत गालियाँ पड़ती हैं मुझे, और मतलब इतनी गालियाँ पड़ती हैं कि 2 साल पहले तो इस तरह के थ्रेट मिलने लगे थे, क्योंकि कॉल इतने आते, रात-रात भर कॉल आते थे और रैंडमली लोग कॉल करते थे और कहते थे कि अब तेरा घर का हम लोग यूँ ही पता लगा लेंगे, तेरे को घर से उठवा लेंगे, तेरा गौरी लंकेश जैसा हाल कर देंगे हम लोग। तो वो सब जो थ्रेट आते थे तो वो मैं सोचती हूँ कि ठीक है मेरे साथ जो हो, क्योंकि वो मैंने पसंद किया है कि मुझे ये काम करना है, मुझे किसी ने मुझ पे थोपा नहीं है। तो लेकिन मेरी वजह से या मेरे काम की वजह से मेरी फैमिली पे कुछ नहीं आना चाहिए। तो वो कुछ दिन तो इतने थ्रेट में गए, क्योंकि छोटी बेटी थी और बेटी को भी लोग गालियाँ दे रहे थे, रेप थ्रेट मिल रही थी। तो वो थोड़ा-सा मेरे लिए बहुत डरावना था। और उसके बाद थोड़ा-सा सोशल मीडिया पे मैंने सच में मतलब थोड़ा-सा कम किया है, अपना जो रिलेशन था वो थोड़ा-सा कम किया है, क्योंकि मैं नहीं चाहती मेरी फैमिली को कुछ भी हो। मैं उसको अपने काम में दिखाती हूँ कि मेरा काम नहीं रुकना चाहिए, जो मेरा काम है मैं वो काम करती हूँ। तो शुरू से अगर मैं कहूँ तो सच बताऊँ, मैं जर्नलिस्ट नहीं बनना चाहती थी। मैं अपने आप को एक्सीडेंटल जर्नलिस्ट कहती हूँ। जर्नलिज़्म की पढ़ाई ज़रूर की थी मैंने, लेकिन वो भी क्योंकि घर में कोई पढ़ा लिखा नहीं था तो किसी ने सजेस्ट किया कि अच्छा ऐसे चले जाओ, और जर्नलिज़्म का मतलब वही टीवी वाला एंकर, तो वही सब पता था। लेकिन जब जर्नलिज़्म में आई तो यहाँ पे बहुत सारी चीज़ें देखने को मिली, क्योंकि जिस कम्युनिटी से हूँ उस वजह से भी देखने को मिला। और फिर उसके बाद अपना शुरू भी किया, तो जब जो काम करती हूँ तो लोगों को लगता है कि नहीं, हमारा क्योंकि काम सारा कास्ट पे फोकस्ड है तो लोगों को लगता है कि नहीं यही कास्टिज़्म फैला रहे हैं। तो इस वजह से बहुत गालियाँ मिलती हैं, लगातार गालियाँ मिलती हैं। जैसे अभी थोड़ी देर पहले बात हो रही थी कि बेटी को राहुल गांधी के इंटरव्यू की बात हो रही थी, तो जब वो इंटरव्यू भी किया तो उस इंटरव्यू में भी बहुत सारे लोगों ने, सब तरह के लोग मुझे गाली देते हैं, मतलब मैं ये नहीं कहूँगी कि सिर्फ एक ही तरह के लोग देते हैं मुझे। अगर कास्ट की बात करूँ तो मुझे अपर कास्ट के लोग भी गाली देते हैं, जो इवन जो कास्टिस्ट हैं, जिनको लगता है जो कास्ट सिस्टम है वो चलते आना है, वो भी देते हैं। इवन जो दलित कम्युनिटी में हैं वो लोग भी मुझे देते हैं, क्योंकि जो एक पैट्रियार्की है इस देश की, वो किसी भी जाति, किसी भी धर्म, सब जगह वो ग्लोबल इशू है पैट्रियार्की, तो उससे फ़र्क नहीं पड़ता है। तो उनको लगता है कि नहीं, एक महिला हो के ऐसा काम क्यों कर सकती है, हम हैं ना, क्योंकि हमेशा मर्दों को लगता है नहीं हम हैं सब काम के लिए तो हम करेंगे, तो महिला क्यों कर सकती है। तो उस वजह से भी गालियाँ। और वो राहुल गांधी वाले टाइम पे लोगों को लगा कि अच्छा बेटी को लेकर जा रही है तो ये सिंपैथी लेना चाहती है, तो जब मेरी फैमिली में भी कोई संभालने वाला है नहीं। और एक चीज़ और महिला के साथ ये भी है कि वो काम करती है तो भी उसको गाली पड़ती है, नहीं करती है तो भी उसको गाली पड़ती है। अगर वो माँ है तो अगर वो बच्चा बाहर लेकर जाती है तो सिंपैथी की गाली पड़ती है, नहीं लेकर जाते तो कहेंगे अच्छा देखो कैसी माँ अपने बच्चे को छोड़ के चलेगी। तो गाली तो जब सब जगह से पड़नी है तो ठीक है, मैं अपना वो काम करूँ ना जिससे मुझे खुशी मिल रही है। तो फिर अब लगता है कि ठीक है, तो आप गाली दे के खुश हैं तो आप गाली दे के खुश रहिए। और एक ये भी है कि मुझे लगता है कि हमारा जो काम है अगर वो चेंज ला रहा है सोसाइटी में, क्योंकि एक जो काफ़ी सारी चीज़ें बनी हैं इस देश में, ये होना चाहिए, ये नहीं होना चाहिए, जो पैरामीटर्स बने हैं उन पैरामीटर्स को हम तोड़ने की कोशिश कर रहे हैं। और अगर अब गाली नहीं पड़ती तो लगता है मेरे काम में कमी है, तो अब गाली पड़ती है तो लगता है कि हाँ मैं ठीक जगह जा रही हूँ।
So, again, like I said, fortunate enough to not expose myself as in out ke bhai, I have done few articles about Palestine, but CME got hacked after 7th October, and all of our work was like completely
as if it didn't exist.
as if it didn't exist. And I still remember उस पे इतना ज़्यादा content के लिहाज से audience नहीं आता था, but we do understand the kind of hate we get, considering the background that we come from. And then I wouldn't go ahead and say we are marginalized, but we are being marginalized. we are very much part of the mainstream of India. We have always been a part of mainstream in India. The only issue is कि हमें marginalize किया जा रहा है, and that goes for all the communities. India was and has been very diverse. मतलब since I think epochs, I would say, from Greeks to Aryans to Muslims to Arabs, right? हर कोई आया है इस मुल्क में, एंड सब ने कहीं ना कहीं किसी लेवल पे इस मुल्क को अपना घर बनाया. एंड टॉकिंग अबाउट द नेटिव्स एज वेल, राइट? तो मुझे नहीं समझ आता कि ये जो नैरेटिव है कि हम मेजॉरिटी हैं या ये लोग माइनॉरिटी हैं, ये स्टैंड भी कहाँ करता है? इट डजेंट, अनलेस एंड अनटिल आप पॉलिटिक्स के बारे में बात कर रहे हैं, ठीक है, तब तो यस, वरना you and I get along very well, ठीक है, she and I can get along very well. अभी हम लोग बात कर रहे थे अपना, जब हम लोग पीछे बैठे हुए मेकअप कर रहे थे, राइट? तो इतने अच्छे से, मतलब पहली दफ़ा हम लोग, बहुत सारे लोग पहली दफ़ा मिले, लेकिन उसके बावजूद भी हमारे बीच में कैमरारिटी है. I do not understand the fact that कि I have to call myself marginalized, to be considered as a human being or a citizen of India. No. I mean, I have the right, and this right has been given to me, by nature itself, by God Himself. ठीक है? तो अगर आप अपनी पहचान बनाना चाह रहे हैं, जैसे अमीना जी ने अपने अभी कहा, औरतों के साथ मसला ये है ना कि हम बड़े इजी टारगेट होते हैं किसी के लिए भी, ठीक है, राइट फ्रॉम द मेन to the women as well, because sometimes I see women giving hate to women. Yeah, and इससे बड़ी unfortunate चीज़, because I have actually seen कि men still appreciate you to some degree, कि अच्छा, you are being brave, you're exposing yourself out there.
But actually, sorry to cut you off, I just feel like somehow we're trained or wired to think like no woman out there is good for us, which is also the reason for this episode, for it to be women centric, that we are actually there for each other. But we are wired to think that they're not. Oh, we're going to use like B words and stuff.
The funny thing is that there is misogyny in men folk as well as the females. Dude, why? मुझे नहीं समझ आता
You're playing
क्यों.
against your own team.
Yeah, it's true. Even in a small, I mean, once it's small, but it's like, oh, like, if a boy is cheating, we'll be like, oh, the girl is such an ass, you'll go attack the girl, and but it's like,
एक्चुअली सारे जोक्स, सारी गालियाँ, ठीक है, सारी यस महिलाओं पर
मुझे
बनी
सबसे
है.
ज़्यादा आयरॉनिक ये चीज़ लगती है कि when women start abusing other women using those galis.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't even make sense, dude. No. So yeah, I mean, I would go ahead and say कि हर किसी को ना ये टाइम ऐसा है कि हर किसी को अपना right as a citizen of India, as human being, as a female, even as a male, because males are facing a lot of issues जो कि बहुत कम लोग बात करते हैं इस चीज़ के बारे में, especially with the laws that are coming now against alimony and all that. ठीक है, that's not fair for the men folk at least. आपको अब ये टाइम आ चुका है कि आप अपने आप को ना assert करें.
We were having this conversation in the car also, where I said, I don't know, maybe I come from, we use the word elite. I don't know, not elite class, but like maybe like social structure, where I've never come to terms with the fact that if someone's surname is a certain thing, I like switch to thinking that they come from a certain caste or they're different from me. I've not felt like that ever in my life, which is why I don't know, like, when people say that they have issues, I don't want to come across as ignorant, but I sometimes feel like I'm fortunate that the upbringing that I have, the culture and the society that I've been in, has taught me to not differentiate. Maybe also because sometimes I'm not differentiated. The only difference is when I go to Germany that I'm brown, so they feel like, oh, that's different. But I've not faced that here, and I want to know from you also, Shivi, like, is that something on your mind already? Like, do you feel like these are things which you read about and have not really faced so much?
To be honest, like I really blame our education system in terms of that. I mean, even if today I go back to my, 10th grade history books or politics or, my 12th grade, whatever, we've never had that, those passages about, the Dalit voice or, how the sufferings of the, um, how basically the caste hierarchy works. And I think I learned it so I studied in a boarding school, and I learned it only when I came out of my school. Like, when I saw people talking about this, when I started reading news. I mean, because I think our young generation, we're so close to how the current affairs work, unless you're super interested in that. Like, nobody reads news. Like, I have friends who are like 25-year-olds, and I think they consume the news from social media whatsoever. But I think we really need some major reforms when it comes to our education system. Like our textbooks, I don't know when they were updated last, but they really,
Apparently
really.
recently, when they removed all the Mughals.
नहीं एक्चुअली इधर मैंने एक स्टोरी की थी इंडिया स्पेंड के लिए, तो वहाँ पर जो है जो प्राइमरी बुक्स में थे उसमें दलित और जो मार्जिनलाइज कम्युनिटीज़ हैं उनकी हिस्ट्री उनके जो वर्ड्स हैं वो सब हटाए जा रहे थे। तो जब बच्चा प्राइमरी स्कूल का बच्चा सबसे ज़्यादा उसको अपना याद रहता है कि उसने क्या सीखा क्या पढ़ा। आप सोचिए अब जब वो बच्चा पढ़ेगा, वो सब तरह के बच्चे जाते होंगे उस स्कूल में, हम लोग ये मान के चल रहे हैं, ठीक है। अब वो जब पढ़ेगा तो उसको लगेगा कि मेरा तो कोई है ही नहीं, मेरी कोई हिस्ट्री ही नहीं है, ना ही मेरे यहाँ से कोई हीरो निकला, ना ही मेरे बारे में कहीं लिखा है, कुछ नहीं लिखा, तो मैं कहाँ से आया हूँ, वो कैसे जानेगा। इवन दूसरे जो कास्ट के बच्चे हैं उनको भी नहीं पता रहेगा। तो ये एक जो इस तरह का जो पूरा हिस्ट्री ही मिटाया जा रहा है। आप तो अगर मान लीजिए मैं बच्ची हूँ और मैं उस बैकग्राउंड से आती हूँ और मैं देखूँगी कि मेरा तो कोई है ही नहीं, मेरे मतलब पूर्वजों ने कुछ किया ही नहीं, कुछ लड़ा ही नहीं, कुछ हासिल ही नहीं किया, मतलब ऐसा लगता है जैसे मैं कहीं से आगे दूसरे ही जगह से आ गया हूँ, तो वो क्या सीखेगा। तो ये एक प्लानिंग जो हो रही है आपको एक तरफ ख़त्म कर देना, तो वही सब चीज़ें तो हो रही हैं अभी, जैसे बताया कि मुगलों का ख़त्म किया जा रहा है और भी चीज़ों की ख़त्म किया जा रहा है। तो सिर्फ आप इस इंडिया एक ऐसा देश है जहाँ पे आपको सब तरह के लोग मिलेंगे, अलग-अलग बोली भी मिलेगी, अलग-अलग जातियाँ भी मिलेंगी, अलग-अलग तरह के लोग भी मिलेंगे। तो आप किसी एक पे नहीं रह सकते, कोई एक जाति या एक तरह के लोग नहीं रह सकते यहाँ पे, आपको सब तरह के लोगों को मिलाकर चलना पड़ेगा।
यही तो खूबी है ना
यही
secular
खूबी है,
state
एग्ज़ैक्टली,
की।
एग्ज़ैक्टली
तभी
यही
हमको ईद पे भी छुट्टी मिलती है और दिवाली पे भी छुट्टी
हाँ,
मिलती
बिल्कुल,
है।
और ये होना
Unlike
नहीं
other
चाहिए।
countries. Yeah.
I think even in our coursework, वगैरह, we like, I remember like in my 10th grade or 12th grade, we were assigned to read the Diary of Anne Frank. So it had everything related to Holocaust and the war and everything. I think why not prioritize giving your children books about um, stories coming from marginalized communities within India.
Yeah.
We need that. We need that. Like, why? I mean, obviously that is important. That's massive history, chapter and everything. But we also need like similar books that tells you a lot about your community within your country.
People live in very insulated communities here, especially with the upper middle class groups. So I personally come from an intercaste, interreligious background. And because of my surname, I'm always like, it sticks out like a sore thumb for many people. And they see that, like, wait, what's up? What's happening here? What's your caste? What's your ancestry? Now, I can't possibly summarize some 250 years of like conflict, migration, and interfaith and intercaste marriages of what my family's been through in just like a couple of sentences. And I think that's just too much of history. So I always say I'm from all over the Indo-Gangetic plains. What are you gonna do
Fantastic.
about it? I'm from all over
Yeah.
the Indo-Gangetic plains.
That's summarized for you.
Yeah, yeah. And like, now there's a border, so there's India and Nepal that is separate. But, we were all one together. And I grew up in different cities of India, right? And I moved schools very often. So one thing what was constant everywhere I went, other than being bullied, was also being targeted because of my surname and my different caste. And what I was sharing earlier with Meena ji was that there were so many questions of like, what's your caste, what's your caste. So one thing, you know caste supremacy is taught at a very young age. It's taught at a very young age, and it's not taught like, the marginalized communities, why are they marginalized and on what basis are we discriminating them, and why is it a wrong thing to do. So yes, the textbooks might have something about like, Dr. Ambedkar and like, Dalit resistance. One sentence here and there, something there will be.
But
But
that's
in their
about it.
everyday lives, yes, there is caste supremacy. It's because the kids who were bullying me back then, and even now, like, when I interact with, like, say, certain kids who live in these upper middle class, insulated, gated societies, and they're like 7, 8 years old, guessing each other's caste, that tum to Khatri ho, tum Rajput ho, and I faced these, and I was bamboozled. So because, and mainly my childhood was in Bangalore, but when I'd come up to the northern sides in the winter, and here in Delhi, Gurgaon, and then I'd meet certain people, and they'd say like, 7, 8 year old kids telling like what when I was 15, 16. नहीं आपका पापा सरनेम ये लगाते हैं, आप ये होता, आप शायद खत्री हो, वी आर नॉट खत्री, नहीं हम लोग तो खत्री हैं, नहीं हम लोग ब्राह्मण हैं, हम लोग ये. Why does a kid, like, it's very important to interrogate that, why a kid who's 7, 8 years old, who doesn't even know how to do arithmetic properly, why does this kid know that, like, I'm of a certain caste and therefore I'm more important
Yeah.
because I come from this caste, and therefore my social circle has to be involved in this caste only. So you're right, the education system has really, like, it's failed us here in some way. And I also studied history as a part of my bachelor's degree, so that's when I really went deep into it. And of course, my own engagement as a journalist, it's the, because when we are out in the field while reporting stories, caste is one thing that, like, वो हर जगह दिखता है. You can't like look away
नहीं,
from
वो
it. You
पैदा
can't be
होने
blind.
से लेके मरने तक
बिल्कुल,
है
ये
वो
ब्लाइंड
सब
नहीं
तो।
हो सकते इसमें. आप हर जगह हर किसी स्टोरी पे जाते हैं. अभी मैंने जो कुछ स्टोरीज देखी है, it shows how caste violence, like, just overlaps, against other forms of violence. Yeah.
No, I think like Meena ji said also that there are so many different caste classes in India that we should embrace. I also think that those are reasons to discriminate. We have 1001 reasons to discriminate. And it's the same saying that you might have 10,000 reasons to not be with someone, but all you need is one if you need it. And I think the same way it works, that you might have so many reasons to discriminate, but why is the question. Like, you just need one to not, which is we're all humans, and we shouldn't. But on that note, we'll now talk about the fact that today is Press Freedom Day, and what's it like to work in India, the world's largest democracy, but ranks 159 on the press index. So that's a great reaction.
मैं हर जगह इस चीज़ को कोट भी करती हूँ, और जो इस समय मीडिया की हालत है, या तो हम एकदम प्रो हो गए हैं या हम एकदम अगेंस्ट हो गए हैं. हम लोग सोशल जस्टिस की बात ही नहीं कर रहे हैं. और जो लोग कहते हैं कि इस समय मीडिया को ज़्यादा खतरा है, मुझे लगता है ऐसा नहीं है कि इस समय हुआ है, क्योंकि 2014 के बाद ही लाइफ नहीं चेंज हुई है ना. ऐसा नहीं था, उससे पहले हम लोग नंबर 1 नंबर 2 पर थे, उससे पहले भी हम लोग 143 रैंक पर थे. तो और एक चीज़ और, जैसे मैंने बताया कि हमारे देश में बहुत खूबसूरती है, अलग अलग तरह के लोग हैं, जातियां हैं, लेकिन मीडिया में अगर आप देखें तो एक ही तरह के लोग भरे हैं. आज तक कोई दलित आदिवासी एडिटर नहीं रहा, जबकि सबसे ज़्यादा पॉपुलेशन इनकी है, फिर भी क्यों नहीं मिले. तो वो कौन सा ऐसा फ़िल्टर था कि मीडिया में जो लोग थे, जो न्यूज़ रूम में थे, उन्होंने वो फ़िल्टर लगाया और ये लोग पहुँचे ही नहीं. और ऐसा नहीं है इन्होंने पढ़ाई नहीं करी. आप देखिए, इंस्टीट्यूट में जाइए, आरक्षण की वजह से पहुँचे ना, और कोई भी अगर वहाँ पहुँच रहा है तो कोई ये तो नहीं सोचेगा कि मुझे घर बैठना है पढ़ाई करके, सबको नौकरी करनी होगी. तो मैं वही कह रही हूँ कि मीडिया की जो ये हालत है, तो कम से कम दलित आदिवासियों की नहीं है, क्योंकि वो लोग न्यूज़ रूम में ही नहीं थे. तो वो एक ही तरह के लोग जब आप रखेंगे, जब हॉरिजॉन्टल आप डाइवर्सिटी नहीं रखेंगे, तो यही हालत होनी है, चाहे वो मीडिया हो, चाहे देश हो, चाहे कोई भी, आप कुछ भी कोई भी फील्ड ले लीजिए, क्योंकि किसी भी फील्ड में नहीं है.
So I think I want to delve into now this news coverage, and all of us like having an issue and complaining about the fact that the news coverage between independent media and mainstream media in India is very debatable. So as independent journalists also, of course, we end up covering things which may be a little out of the box that a mainstream media will not cover, but we still have a lot of restrictions. So what do you like the new things that are coming about with everything happening with Kunal Kamra, the Waqf bill? What, I mean, how do you think that the news coverage should be like in your eyes?
I'll start off with saying this one thing. I'm 25 years old, and I've dreamt about being a journalist since I was like 12. And the dreams I had back then, when I was a teenager, versus the dreams I have now, they've changed. Because I dreamt of being like on the TV or like, having my own show and everything. And now I'm not sure if I trust mainstream TV news as much anymore. I grew up watching some hard hitting stories covered from the ground by like NDTV, Ravish Kumar, and now you don't see that stuff on TV anymore. So it's really disappointing the way mainstream media has headed and how polarized it's become. So in the face of this, we have amazing channels like that are doing independent work, and we have to keep pushing. And like the kind of stuff that I cover, I mainly cover on transgender and queer rights in India, and looking at many intersections that envelop queer rights in India, because there's many impacts of it. And thankfully there are some independent outlets that are willing to commission me, that are willing to work with me and give my stories a platform. What Meena ji here is doing with the Mook Nayak is fantastic. But it's, I think, also comes with a lot of censorship, a lot of legal challenges. Look at what's happening with Kunal Kamra. Look what's happened. Look at how many like defamation lawsuits and stuff that News Laundry and The Wire have been like dragged through. So the idea is to like bleed out these independent media publications, that whatever little money they have, just keep throwing like lawsuits at them so that they just end up bleeding out.
Yeah, I want to, sorry, also throw like a question here. Is that something that I've been feeling at least the last few months in coverage is that, of course, things like what happened with Ranbir Alabada and Apurva were taken to an extreme level, like what happened. But I also think the media coverage of it was very extreme compared to what it should have been. And the argument that I was constantly having with myself is that I don't want to see that when there are 10,000 other things that should be in news should come out. So, do you think that that's the fault of media, or do you think that's the fault of the people or the politics? Like, what do you think?
I think both. It's our attention spans that are like diminishing. And what Meena ji said, that right now there's not enough push towards social justice. There's, everybody has opinions. Everybody has like, oh my god, I hate XYZ party. Oh my god, I hate XYZ leader.
सरकार
There
गिराने
is-
में जा रहे हैं बस सब
but like there's no substance to it, and people are not ready to look at the wider issues. And what I think we're like losing critical thinking skills at the end of the day. So that's why, yes, like some that issue of any clickbait news. I think what happened with those comedians, Ranveer Alabadia, Samir Raina, was also really bad. But the amount of like airtime it got, the amount of coverage time it got versus other major issues that were going on in the country. It's a big country, So I mean, those issues were not getting enough limelight. It's really about what sells, what gets you the hits on your YouTube videos and your Instagram reels, and it's really unfortunate to see.
At the end of the day, I think ये कब से होने लगा है कि media is actually projecting their own opinion rather than being neutral. That's the whole question. अगर ये चीज़ ख़त्म हो जाए तो I think आधे से ज़्यादा issues जो हैं इस country के वो surface पे आने लगेंगे. Not many people know कि we are running out of safe water. Not many people know कि
how toxic the Delhi air is.
The heat waves, the heat waves will hit us soon.
आज के लिए मैं अभी चेक कर रही थी, कल ही मैं न्यूज़ पढ़ी थी, येलो वेव अलर्ट हो चुका है दिल्ली में. ठीक है, 42 डिग्रीज इज हिटिंग. लोगों को मतलब पॉलिटिशियंस से लेकर एनवायरमेंटलिस्ट से लेकर कोई भी जो कि इन चीज़ों के बारे में सोच सकता है या सोल्यूशन दे सकता है, they are not coming up. Why are we so concerned about comedians? How come comedians got so relevance in our polity? ठीक है, why are मतलब ये कुछ ऐसे सवाल हैं जो हमें करने चाहिए, चाहे वो अर्नब गोस्वामी हो, चाहे वो इवन फॉर दैट मैटर रविश कुमार. ठीक है, क्योंकि वो एक मेन स्ट्रीम मीडिया का कहीं ना कहीं हिस्सा रहे हैं, एंड ही इज़ प्रीटी मच रिवेयर्ड एवरीवेयर. माशाल्लाह, ही इज़ रिसीव्ड गुड awards and recognition. बट ये जब तक हम जैसे लोग और मीना जी जैसे लोग, एंड आई एम सीरियसली प्राउड ऑफ यू अगेन, आप जैसे लोग ये सवाल काउंटर सवाल नहीं किया जाएगा मेन स्ट्रीम मीडिया से, तब तक नहीं हो पाएगा. यू हैव टू शेम देम.
बिल्कुल, इवन रवीश से भी मैंने कई बार पूछा भी, मतलब मैं उनसे बात नहीं करती क्योंकि वो मुझे ट्रोल किया है उन्होंने। किसी को विश्वास नहीं होता कि रवीश कुमार मुझे ट्रोल करते हैं। सीरियसली तो मतलब आप जब तक थे इंडस्ट्री में आपने कितने लोगों को रखा? आप एक चलता फिरता इंस्टीट्यूट हैं आकृति। आप किसी को, मैं कह रही हूँ ठीक है आप मेरिट बेस्ड रखते हैं, अगर आप किसी में नहीं है मेरिट, किसी को नहीं आता है, आप उसको महीना 6 महीना साल भर भी रखेंगे, बहुत कुछ सीख जाएगा कोई भी। लेकिन क्यों नहीं रखा? आपके पास इतना पावर तो था ना कि किसी को नौकरी दिला सकते हैं, क्यों नहीं रखा? और बहुत सारे लोगों को मैं ये सवाल करती हूँ हमेशा कि क्यों नहीं रखा आप लोगों ने? आप सीनियर जर्नलिस्ट हैं, और जो ये हालत है सिर्फ आज की वजह से नहीं है, आप लोगों ने जो किया उसकी वजह से भी है, जितने भी सीनियर जर्नलिस्ट रहे हैं।
I think that understanding only comes when you become the scapegoat.
Yeah.
Because I think Ravish Kumar was living comfortably before and NDTV was taken over and everything, but after the whole controversy within the NDTV and how they pushed him out of the channel, I think that was maybe like a realization moment for him. He was like, our press freedom is under serious risk and everything. I think the press freedom in our country, it's under, I don't know what to say about it. Even like Prime Minister Narendra Modi, he's been a prime minister for nearly a decade, and he has held not a single press conference.
वो तो
और एक podcast
Yeah.
podcast भी तो किया है.
I think,
He has like
yeah.
roundtable interviews with Navika Kumar. And all. He's
Yeah,
done
but
that.
that's only
Yeah.
favorable journalists he's
Yes.
invited.
Yeah.
Journalists
But a
who
press
can,
conference is different.
Yeah.
press conference. I mean,
बट वहाँ
people
कुछ
who
बोला
yeah.
भी नहीं था।
I wouldn't have you, defame our,
Excuse me. Technical words.
No, but I feel like it's not about
Objection,
yeah,
my
no,
lord.
I get it.
Yeah.
But so when I was working in the UK, during the COVID time, we would always have these press conference meetings every week where the Prime Minister Boris Johnson, he would meet, he would hold a press conference and he would be grilled at every death, every count, every infection. And when I came to India, and I was just like, why don't we have this here? Like, India has had so many deaths, and we had such an unfortunate time during COVID. There were families who were going without oxygen cylinders. Even right now, like our pollution rate, our water is contaminated, our air is toxic, our children are ending up with really risky case of asthma. Why are we not keeping these leaders account? Why are they not hosting these press conferences?
The one line answer for that, according to me, would be that there is no value of life in India. So, as journalists, I want to know what is the one solution that you're either looking towards or are working towards, which you feel could be closer to the change, sorry, that we are looking for, that we are talking about here today.
देखिए जैसे हम लोगों ने बताया 159th रैंक पर हैं हम लोग। हमें ये नहीं देखना होगा, हमें ये देखना होगा कि फर्स्ट रैंक पे कौन है। नॉर्वे, स्वीडन और जो यूरोपियन कंट्रीज़ हैं वो फर्स्ट पर हैं, और वो क्यों हैं इस पे हमें रिसर्च करना होगा, क्योंकि वहाँ पर सब तरह की, देखिए जब ब्लैक्स की लड़ाई थी तो सिर्फ ब्लैक नहीं लड़े थे, उनमें वाइट्स ने भी पार्टिसिपेट किया था। तो जब हम लोग यहाँ पर हैं जो भी फेस कर रहे हैं, सिर्फ ये एक की लड़ाई नहीं है, आपको एक जैसे विचारों को सब तरह के लोगों को जोड़ना पड़ेगा, क्योंकि ये थोड़ा सा और ऐड करूँगी, क्योंकि ये बदले की लड़ाई नहीं है। आपने मेरे साथ ये किया तो मैं भी ऐसा करूँगी, फिर वो बदला कभी ख़त्म नहीं होगा। हम लोगों को सामने के जो विचार हैं वो बदलने पड़ेंगे और अपनी साइड लेना पड़ेगा, क्योंकि हम सबकी है और ये हमारे लिए नहीं, हमारे फ्यूचर के लिए है। मेरी बेटी है, मैं सोचती हूँ उसका क्या होगा। तो ये हमें इस तरह से हमें देखना होगा और वैसा ही करना पड़ेगा जो फर्स्ट पे आ रहे, तब जाके हम लोग 180 देशों में अभी इतने पे हैं तो फर्स्ट पे भी हम लोग पहुँच सकते हैं।
Thinking about this, and it comes down to me that we are living in an age where we're living, that there's a psychology of the other, right? What you said, like, marginalizing and furthering or othering people. For me, the solution has been documenting everything and looking at several intersections. Issues of climate change, hate crimes, human rights, mental health, air pollution, none of these are isolated incidents. They exist and they don't exist in silos. They live in intersections, and they're a reflection of the times that we live in today. You know, it's very easy for regimes to peddle this kind of psychology, to peddle this kind of hatred. But I have faith in in the people of this country. I genuinely do. And it is because the syncretic culture and coexistence is what we are. This is our culture. Like, this is our true Indian culture. Regardless of whatever religion we come from, whatever caste we come from, this coexistence and the syncretic culture is what we are all about. So to me, that's what's important. Document everything. You know, I've been working on a documentary and all independently. Document everything, from gender rights to mental health, air pollution, and no longer look at these issues in silos. It's a reflection of who we are today, and it's an important time to reflect and plan ahead.
Assertion, मतलब at the end of the day you have to keep hitting the nail. ठीक है, उसमें दो चीज़ें हो सकती हैं, या तो आपको वही गालियाँ पड़ेंगी, वो पड़ती हैं, that's okay, ठीक है, like she said, and what she said was like, you know, eye opening, कि अगर मुझे मेरे काम के लिए गाली मिल रही है, it means कि मैं कुछ सही कर रही हूँ. That's the whole, you know, gist of it. दूसरी चीज़ ये है कि भाई आप जब तक आवाज़ नहीं उठाएंगे, और सब मिलके एक दूसरे के लिए आवाज़ उठाना ज़रूरी है. ये नहीं कि भाई मुस्लिम है तो सिर्फ मुस्लिम की बात कर रहा है, दलित है तो सिर्फ दलित की बात कर रहा है, या फिर इवन फॉर दैट एलीट, यू नो, जैसे कुणाल कामरा के साथ हुआ या व्हाटएवर. हमें सबको एक साथ जब तक हम प्लेटफॉर्म पे नहीं आएंगे, एंड वी विल, एंड माशाल्लाह मैं ये एक चीज़ कहूँगी कि ये चीज़ हो रही है, ऑल्दो थोड़ा सा, यू नो, धीरे धीरे हो रही है, बट स्टिल इट्स टेकिंग पेस. तो आई एम ऑल फॉर इट, एंड आई एम क्वाइट होपफुल कि इंशाल्लाह ये आगे जाके, ठीक है, वी विल रीच आवर गोल. एटलीस्ट अगर गोल नहीं रीच करेंगे तो कम से कम थोड़ा सा तो, यू नो, रैंकिंग में ऊपर आएंगे, राइट? सो दैट्स व्हाट आई बिलीव.
Yeah.
I think for me personally, not only talking about press freedom, but this is like slightly outside. I think we really need to train our journalists, like in terms of law and ethical reporting. Like, this is, I mean, we can see, speaking about the Sushant Singh Rajput entire controversy with Riya Chakraborty and everything. It was not for us journalists, and it was not for our citizens to decide how he died. It was the police. It was supposed to be, you know, the highest court who was supposed to, you know, find out how this person died and everything. And this controversy happened. He died during, the pandemic, and everybody was glued to the screen. Everybody was, you know, trying to find out how he died. And there was like, you know, photo leaks of, you know, his, I think, dead body and everything. That's not how you report on suicide. Because, you know, and there were like news channels who were like mimicking how he died and everything as well. That was terrible. Yeah, that was terrible. Like, no Indian channel who, you know, did all this, who called out Riya Chakraborty like, you know, a drug dealer whatsoever, they never apologized. They never issued an apology. Why? We need to hold these people accountable. They need to know the ethical guidelines and everything. Like, it just, I genuinely feel like there's some resource and some training that needs to go behind this.
Yeah, I think I do need to point out that though we were discussing that there are many countries, I mean, there are 158 countries that come before India. It's not, of course, we worked there closely. So it's not easy, and I'm not saying that it's the best. The only difference that I find between there and India that I'd like to point out is that you have the courage to voice out without fearing things like death and rape. Like, that's the only difference. And I think once we clear that, then these solutions that we're talking about can work, because we are a democracy, and just to get that little push is all we need to find all these solutions.
There
Now-
needs to be law and guidelines to protect journalists for, like, you know,
Yeah.
doing these kind of stories.
So now that we're coming to an end, I always have a question that I ask my guests, which is that you are all here, you've gone beyond the border, which is also the reason I've invited you, and I appreciate and look up to all of you. So one advice that you would like to give anyone who's going beyond the border in any field?
I think for me, do your research. I mean, even if it's like 20 pages of documents or, like, you know, never-ending research and everything, go into the academics, speak to experts, just do your research, because that can build your investigation and stories so much more. And especially when you're on ground, speak to if your editor is telling you, oh, you should have at least 3 quoted, like 3 quotes, like speak to people, 3 people, make sure that you speak to 6, so that you can get as much information as you possibly can, and make sure that you have their contacts saved for follow-up stories in general. So yeah, I think that's about it.
मैं अपनी फील्ड का ही कहूँगी, इवन अगर मैं जर्नलिस्ट हूँ तो जब मैं अपने काम पर हूँ तो ना मेरी कोई जाति है, ना ही मेरा कोई धर्म है। तो अगर मैं इस विज़न के साथ काम करूँगी तो मुझे लगता है मैं बहुत पॉजिटिव काम कर पाऊँगी और लॉयल रहूँगी, जस्टिस भी कर पाऊँगी। तो मुझे लगता है कोई भी किसी भी फील्ड पे हो, तो जब वो फील्ड पर होता है तो उसकी जाति धर्म नहीं होनी चाहिए, जो हमारे देश में पहले जाति पहुँच जाती है। तो अगर हम लोग उसको पीछे रखेंगे तो डेफिनेटली हम लोग एक बेहतर देश की तरफ बढ़ पाएंगे।
I think I have like 2 very quick practical advices for people who are going beyond the borders. One is that have like basic knowledge of what the laws are. What's the difference between an FIR, a charge sheet, a police custody, a judicial custody? What are the existing laws that protect us? What our civil liberties are. इसकी जानकारी सबको होनी चाहिए, कमेडियन हो या जर्नलिस्ट हो या राइटर हो, कार्टूनिस्ट हो, जब भी। दूसरी चीज़ मैं ये कहूँगी, फॉर द पीपल हु आर गोइंग बियॉन्ड द बॉर्डर, work on the relationship you have with yourself. I worked independently for 6.5 years. I've faced harassment and threats from my own colleagues, and not just like for people on the ground, like while reporting, but also from my own colleagues. I've faced sexism and harassment, and it's been awful. And it takes a very, very strong relationship with yourself to be able to come out of that and to continue working in this profession and to keep investing into this career that I'm building for myself. So you have to have an unshakable belief in yourself that, like, come what may, come whatever party, whichever ruler, I'm going to be all right. And these 2 practical advices.
ओपन माइंडनेस, हम लोगों में ओपन माइंडेडनेस नहीं है. We do not tolerate each other, even though this country is diverse, you could say. So I think एक दूसरे के बारे में, अगर आप किसी भी फील्ड में जा रहे हैं, स्पेशली अगर जर्नलिस्ट, as a journalist you want to portray yourself somebody who is professional and knows what he or she is doing. आपको बैकग्राउंड जानना, आपको नॉलेज हासिल करना उस इशू के बारे में, उस सब्जेक्ट के बारे में बहुत ज़रूरी है, वरना वो सुशांत सिंह वाला वो मैटर होता है. And that's how it happens.
Yeah. So thank you so much for being here. I appreciate you all, and I hope we can have a part 2 of this so we have more time. And thank you. That's it. Yay! Thank you so much for staying until the end. To help us continue these conversations, please subscribe on YouTube and like and follow on Instagram and Spotify.